Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. Now, if you're expanding your business into the great state of Texas, you've probably found yourself staring at a rather dry, 7-step government checklist regarding sales tax. Well, don't worry, because today we are going to take that bureaucratic maze and transform it into a clear, painless mission briefing. I am so excited to guide you through this material and turn it into a straightforward, actionable plan that you can actually use. So let's jump right in with literally the most urgent question any entrepreneur faces when they decide to expand. Does your business actually need a Texas sales tax permit? Getting this wrong can lead to major headaches down the road, so figuring out exactly where you stand is absolutely step number one. All right, before we get into the weeds, let's just make sure we're on the same page about what this actually is. A Texas sales tax permit, which, by the way, you might also hear called a seller's permit or a sales and use tax permit, is essentially just a required authorization from the state. It legally allows your business to collect sales tax from your Texas customers. Keeping this basic definition in mind will help everything else we cover today fall perfectly into place. Okay, here's our game plan. We've grouped the state's rules into 4 simple phases. 1. Do you need a permit? 2. Gather your required information. 3. Submitting your application. And 4. What happens next? Starting off with Phase 1. Do you need a permit? What's really fascinating here is just how wide a net Texas casts. You generally need this permit if you sell taxable products or services in Texas or if you lease or rent taxable items. But if you run an e-commerce business, pay really close attention to this next part. Even if you aren't physically based in Texas, you're on the hook if you hit certain sales thresholds. This is a concept known as economic nexus. The state uses it to pull in out-of-state online sellers, so definitely keep that in mind if you're shipping across state lines. Moving right along to Phase 2. Gather your required information. Think of this as your pre-flight checklist. You'll want all of this sitting literally right on your desk before you start. You need your legal business name and address, your social security number or IIN, plus your business phone number and start date. You're also going to need your NAICS business activity code. That's the North American Industry Classification System, which basically just tells the state what kind of industry you're in. Oh, and don't forget the info for any owners, partners, or officers of the company. Finally, if it applies to your specific setup, grab your Texas Secretary of State file number. Getting this all organized up front, a total game changer. It'll save you a ton of time.
All right, Phase 3, submitting your application.
I know government portals can sometimes feel like a maze, but this digital process is actually incredibly straightforward. Step 1, just visit the Texas Comptroller online registration system. Step 2, select Apply for Permit via eSystems. From there, Step 3 is just creating an account or logging in. Step 4, you complete the application using all that great intel we just gathered. Step 5, give everything a really careful review. And finally, Step 6, submit it electronically. It is a super clean, step-by-step process. Now, of course, not everyone wants to apply online, and that's fine. You basically have 2 paths here. The standard path is that online eSystems portal we just talked about. It's fast, it's electronic. But if you prefer the old-school route, there is an alternative paper application. You just fill out Form AP201, which you can then submit via mail, email, or even fax. Both roads lead to the exact same destination. So what's the damage? Whenever we talk about government permits, our anxiety around hidden fees naturally spikes, right? Well, get this. The application fee is $0. The Texas sales tax permit is completely free. Now, actually, just to be 100% thorough, I should mention that in a few very specific situations, the comptroller might require a security bond. But the permit application itself, absolutely free. Once you hit submit on that free application, the waiting game begins. Let's set some realistic expectations right now. Processing an online application takes roughly 2 to 3 weeks. Once it's approved, the physical permit is mailed directly to your business address. So mark your calendar and you'll know exactly when to start stocking your mail carrier. Which brings us to our final phase, Part 4. What happens next? Okay, the paperwork arrives. Your very first responsibility is actually a physical one. You have to display the permit at your business location. Once it's proudly hanging on your wall, you are required to immediately begin collecting Texas sales tax from customers on your taxable sales. You've essentially just activated your new tax collecting superpower. And that brings us to an incredibly important ongoing duty, which is filing your returns. Now, the crucial point here is a slightly counterintuitive golden rule. You must file your returns even if you had absolutely no sales during that period. Seriously, if your revenue was literally 0, you still have to file. And of course, always pay any collected taxes on time to avoid penalties. Bottom line, do not let a $0 month trick you into skipping your paperwork. We've covered the criteria, the prep work, the application, and the ongoing rules. But here's a thought to leave you with today. If Texas casts such a wide, aggressive net for out-of-state sellers using economic nexus, how many other states might currently consider your business liable for taxes without you even knowing it? Take a look at your operations. Ensure your taxes compliance is ironclad, and then ask yourself, where else does your business footprint land?